Hey guys, it's your old pal Alice Cooper. Basically, this is Spooktacular. So you're gonna be seeing a bunch of horror movies that have a Halloween theme to it. Look for it all this month.
Return of the Living Dead. So, at a medical supply warehouse in Louisville, Kentucky, a foreman named Frank tries to impress the company's newest employee, Freddie, by showing him military drums, accidentally wound up in the basement of the building. The drum contains the remains of a military experiment gone wrong, which inspired the film Night of the Living Dead. Frank accidentally unleashes the toxic gas, which renders the two unconscious. When waking up, Frank and Freddy find that the gas reanimated a cadaver inside a meat locker and contacts their boss and warehouse owner Bert Wilson to help them deal with the situation. When decapitation cannot kill the cadaver, Bert decides to bring the corpse to the nearby mortuary to have him dismembered parts burn in a gambit to destroy once and for all. Meanwhile, Freddy learns of his new job from his friend Tina. From his girlfriend Tina. The group consisting of Spider, Trash, Scuzz, Suicide, Casey, and Chuck decide to pick Freddy up after he finishes his shift and wait inside the local cemetery. Tina leaves the graveyard and enters the warehouse to look for Freddy. Her search leads her to a basement where she unwillingly draws attention from a half-melted corpse from the drum barrel dubbed Taman, who initially thought to have been dissolved. She locks herself inside a metal closet after a failed attempt to run, but the zombie finds a chain hook and tries to pull the door off. At the mortuary, Bert gets the mortician Ernie to burn the remains, not realizing that it causes the gas to contaminate the air, and it brings a toxic rainfall to resurrect the dead in the graveyard. The acid rain forces Freddy's friends uh, refuge inside the warehouse. Once inside, the group hears the basement commotion and immediately rushes down to rescue Tina, but Suicide is bitten by the Tommen in the process, who says, "Brain," and incidentally bites him in the head, and it basically eats his brain, and this forces the group, including Tina, to abandon Suicide and barricade the door to stop Tommen from coming out. Outside, the group runs through the cemetery to look for Freddy, but are slowed up when the zombies begin rising from the graves. It's party time! Yeah! It's party time! You know, this song comes up, which is pretty cool, by the way. When the group is running through, the trash gets surrounded by and eaten by zombies. Ironically, dying the way he described earlier as the worst way to die. Tina and Spider and Cruz go to the mortuary. Chuck and Chasey head back to the warehouse, where Tommen remains trapped downstairs. Frank and Freddy have grown increasingly ill from the exposure to the gas. The medical test from paramedics implies that they are no longer alive. Actually, they shouldn't be alive at all. They shouldn't be breathing. And they said that when Bert and Ernie find out the graveyard zombies quickly barricade the mortuary after a failed attempt to escape using the ambulance. Scuzz is killed while protecting the barricade, and the zombies continue to eat the paramedics and the police who arrive in the area. Incidentally, they call for a second wave of cops because the zombie uses the CB radio and he says, "Send more cops." Which is funny, by the way. With Frank and Freddy showing signs, becoming zombies themselves, Bert has them locked in the chapel and Tina stays with Freddy. Meanwhile, Trash rises as a zombie and starts a semi-organized horror that attacks the reinforcements head on. Freddy succumbs as a zombie and tries to eat Tina, but is blinded when the acid thrown by Ernie. Frank also escapes and cremates himself inside the retort. And which he promptly, before he does that, he prays and he screams out, in terror because he's burning alive. What can I tell you? Wow, he's actually not alive, but you know what I'm talking about. Bert and Spider use a police car outside to escape, but the growing horde of zombies leaves them unable to come back for Tina and Ernie. They retreat to the warehouse, and the car explodes due to the gasoline leak. Bert and Spider reunite with Casey and Chuck and go to the basement's phone after Bert knocks off Thomas' head with a baseball bat. After he says, "I'm going to knock his block off," which is kind of cool, by the way. And he says, "Brains." I love that zombie. It's cool to imitate. Let's see. With the police massacred by zombies, Bert decides to call the military's drum's phone number. The call goes to Colonel Glover, a military officer looking for the barrels. When Glover learns that the gas has been released, he activates a containment protocol with nuclear artillery shell to destroy the area. Incidentally, a giant bomb. Just as a blinded Freddy breaks into the attic where Ernie and Tina are hiding, the bomb basically destroys 20 square blocks of Louisville and ultimately kills both the survivors and the zombies. With footage shown in the destroyed area, Glover describes the outcome with less than 4,000 dead and dismisses reports of the acid rain, which soon restarts the zombies rising all over again. And this song starts up, "It's party time!" I want to mention that also this movie has some two or three really good songs, "Surfing Dead," and it is basically an '80s soundtrack. So what can I tell you about this movie? Well,
The Return of the Living Dead deserves a rating of popcorn, balls, and gum.
So basically, this movie, I want to go ahead and mention that he talks to Tina and he says, "I love you. I can smell you. Let me eat your brain." Brains! And she's screaming out. I mean, you know. But in the sequel, she actually lets Freddy eat her head. Which incidentally, that's Freddy's second girlfriend. Actually, I think in the sequel it's a different character, actually, but still stupid, by the way. So what can I tell you? Like I said, it's a thoroughly enjoyable movie for Halloween. I highly recommend it. I think you can find it on Blu-ray for like $7. I think it comes on TV, but you gotta really look for it. I mean, really look for it. As for the Blu-ray, you gotta look around for that. Take some effort, I suppose. DVD is not hard to find. So go ahead and hit subscribe. Share and like, of course. Watch some more videos. Hit thumbs up to support the channel. Leave a comment below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.